All right, so clearly it's getting really cold outside, but you know what? If you're equipped with the right gear, it will make your run so much easier. So let's talk about my winter must-haves. What's up, good people? Welcome to Miles from India. For my new people to this channel, I'm India, and for my returning peeps, what's up and welcome back. I hope everyone is having an amazing holiday season, as much as they could be, but let's get into the video. So of course we know during the winter, everyone generates heat differently. On some of my runs, I literally have steam foaming from my head because I am really hot. But I don't like to overheat, but I like to stay warm. So let's go over some winter must-haves that keep me warm and keep me ready to go and don't discourage me from running outside. Let me give you a quick random fact about our bodies. So of course, you know when you're really cold and usually your hands, your nose, your ears, and your feet are cold? Well, that's because your body kind of goes into just basically protection mode. So a lot of your blood flow and a lot of the warmth and the heat goes to your core so that it can protect your organs. So of course, all of your major organs are in the core area. So what happens is that when all that goes around, your extremities get a lot colder. So when it comes to running, you want to ensure that you are protecting those extremities because they are extra cold. All right, so let's start from head to toe. So on my head, I'm usually wearing some kind of dry fit beanie or a ear warmer. So it does not have to be a full head, but at least if it covers my ears, I am really good. Now, the thing about beanies is that a lot of people get those cotton beanies or thinner beanies. Now, of course, they may keep you warm for a little bit, but you want to be careful that they don't hold on to the sweat. And that's why it's important to get a moisture wicking material, because if it holds onto the sweat, it makes you even colder. And then also, you don't want to get ones that are super thick, like super fleece material. And of course, this depends person by person, but super fleece material, because that can be too hot and then your head can overheat. But the bottom line in this is that you don't want to do cotton. Cotton holds onto the sweat and can make you colder. All right, so let's move on down to the face. So when it comes to the face, right now, especially during COVID season, you're seeing a lot of people with a neck buff on. Those neck buffs are usually cotton and they're very thin. Now they can be used to help protect your mouth and your ears, and it depends on the temperature that you need. But I use one of these things, and I used to call it a face mask, but it wasn't until 2020, like when I was doing some research for this video, that I learned that that face mask thing that I use is called a balaclava. And I'll drop the name down below so that y'all can know exactly what it is. Here's the correct pronunciation.
Balaclava.
But this piece can be used to cover my neck, it can cover my ears, over my head, and it can be used to cover my mouth as well, to where my eyes are just out. Now, of course, your girl doesn't wear it where the eyes are just out in certain areas of town or certain times of the day, because, you know, I don't want to be mistaken as doing something bad, because it definitely covers up your identity. All right, now speaking of your eyes, so if you are running on a beautiful day like this and it's cold outside, don't forget your sunglasses. We still need UV protection when it comes to your eyes, but it also helps with the wind. Usually when it's colder outside, some people's eyes water a little bit more than usual. And then of course, when the wind is beating, sunglasses can help to protect that. Now, clearly we know if it's dark, you're not going to be wearing sunglasses, but if it's a beautiful day, go ahead and put the shades on. So I'm dropping another little random fact. So when you are running in the wintertime, or even in the summer, but in the winter, your body warms up approximately 20 degrees warmer than when you started. So that means when you start to warm up, sometimes it's 5 minutes into a run, sometimes it's a half a mile for some people, whatever that time frame is, your body warms up about 20 degrees. So that means if it's 30 degrees outside, once your body warms up, it's going to feel 50. So you want to ensure that you're not making sure that you're not overdressing for that temperature change that you will receive and when your body warms up. Now, of course, some people are different. I have a friend that's super cold all the time, whereas for me, even during the wintertime, your girl is dripping sweat and I warm up before I even get to a half mile. Here are some quick tips as far as temperature gauging that you can dictate kind of what temperature you may want to wear certain items, and again, protect those extremities. So So let's get into the core area of your body. Now, like I mentioned when we first opened up this video, keeping your core warm is really, really important. So a lot of times you will get those racer shorts that are dry fit material, and they're a little bit thinner than usual. So I usually don't wear those if it's 35 or below. I usually step my shirts up to a more insulated shirt that has like a little thicker layer on the inside. Those shirts help to keep me warm. I may wear a singlet underneath it, but ensure that I have a singlet and a long sleeve on. Now, also when it comes to outer layer, you can also, some may call an investment, but you can invest in a runner's jacket. This is a runner's jacket that I absolutely love. I have had it for years, and I'm sorry I can't tell you guys like which exactly one it is. The birds are chirping. But I can let you guys know that runner's jackets are always awesome. Now, when it comes to runner's jackets, you want to ensure that they are nicely fitted, kind of like this shirt here. You want to ensure that they are fitted against your body because you don't want it to be a parachute type experience when you're running and it's holding you back from propelling on your runs. Now, something else that you can also use for your core is runner's vest. So I absolutely love my Nike's runner's vest. I can put on a long sleeve and I put on the vest. That helps to keep my core warm, and then also, but I also don't feel restricted while having on a lot of clothes. So usually I will do a long sleeve and a runner's vest if it's 35 degrees, and usually, or 40 degrees even, but if it's 30 or below, I'm putting on that runner's jacket for sure. Now, when it comes to runner's jacket, you want to ensure that they have some kind of vents or something within the jacket. You don't want to hold on to any of your heat or your sweat when you're running. So of course you want it to keep you warm. However, you want some kind of ventilation within the jackets. A lot of jackets have the side panels that actually help you to release some of the heat. Now let's get into the tights. So tights are one of my favorite areas. So for me, I'm always a tight girl anyway. I love tights. But some of the tights that I absolutely love are the Nike Thermofit tights. Now, on these tights, usually when you get winter running or Thermofit tights, the dog's being disrespectful. There is actually an inner liner inside of the tights that actually can show you that they are thicker than usual. They are not opaque. Usually they have an actual warmer liner in the inside. Now, another tip that you will know that these are more so Thermofit or runner tights is that a lot of times those types have some kind of reflective gear on them. And that's because usually during the wintertime, we're running early in the morning or at night, or at least when it's dark outside during the week, depending upon your schedule. All right, so we ran from the core, we went into the tights, and I can't forget our hands. So gloves. So again, I absolutely love actually having a dry fit Thermofit type glove on your hands. You want to do warm gloves. Again, cotton is not ideal gloves in those situations because guys, cotton has holes in it and the air goes right through it. Now, don't sleep on cotton gloves when it comes to racing. A lot of people put on cotton gloves. Why can't I say cotton? A lot of people put on cotton gloves when they do take off for a race, but only when they know that these cotton gloves can be taken off in mid-race and kind of disposed of on the side of the road or disposed of in the trash. Gloves that they don't really care about. But that also is if your body is warming up and you know that you're not going to need them, or if the temperature is going to rise depending upon the distance that you are running. So cotton gloves can be used during those times, but on really cold runs, you know it's going to be cold the entire run, you want to do a thicker, dry fit, warmer glove. Now for me, there are gloves and mittens out there and people have their preferences. I don't like mittens because I like to be able to touch my phone, whether that be to change the music, whether that be to take a picture, whatever it is. I want to be able to have the gloves with the little tips on the fingers so that you can actually change music or change any settings and do anything that you need to do. So another quick tip that I have when it comes to hands, because I feel like my hands are always the coldest, I use actual hand warmers. So these are little plastic bags that actually have some kind of goodness in them that you pop them open and you actually slide them inside of your gloves. This helps to keep my hand even warmer than the gloves would do. Now recently I have come across feet warmers as well. I have not tried them running, so I don't know how that will be and how it will fit in my sock, but I did purchase them and and I have to see how that goes. But I definitely use the hand warmers. They are pretty awesome and they keep my hands going. And sometimes they keep them too hot and I have to throw them out. All right, so we're moving on down the body and now we are at your feet. So socks are super important when it comes to running. Clearly, when you're hitting the ground, you don't want your feet numb and hard, or you make it you feel like they're hard because they're numb. You can't feel your feet when you're running. You want to be able to feel that. So when it comes to your feet, socks are super important. You want to ensure that you are wearing longer socks. I'm not a huge long sock fan, but I at least get ankle socks that actually cover my ankle a little bit, that can come up neck and neck to my tights. But a lot of people like to get longer socks, but you also want to ensure that you're using moisture wicking socks as well as wool socks. Wool socks are amazing for not only warmth but also moisture wicking. So you want to ensure that you are using that. Now the other things with your feet is that if you have actual shoes that may be trail running shoes that can also be used for the road, or just shoes that don't have a breathable top, you don't want an issue of feeling like your feet are having even more exposure to the wind or the cold if you have a thinner layer to the top part of your shoe. So now we've gone from the head to the toe, but one thing that I forgot about the head is you want to ensure that you have a headlamp. Now, of course, not everybody is running during the morning and night or when it's dark outside, but a headlamp is something that is a must-have for me. I always have. This headlamp is awesome. I want to say I've had this thing for years. It dims up and down on the light and it just pops on. It doesn't bounce. I'm able to tighten it around my head and I just take it on those runs. Even if I know that it's going to be dark outside when I take off, I always have it equipped and it can stay on there even if I'm not using it. Those are my definite must-haves. I'm gonna give y'all a quick pro tip before I close out. When it comes to winter gear, usually it may be a little tad more expensive, but you want to ensure that you're doing whatever you can to shop off season. So that means when it turns to spring, so usually around February when stores start changing over to their spring wardrobes, you want to grab that winter gear that goes on clearance or goes on sale for next year. So you want to ensure that you are transitioning and getting your items off season. Also, don't sleep on some of the smaller stores. For instance, this shirt that I have right here is fully reflective shirt. I want to say that it was $17.99 from Walmart. So there's certain things that you can definitely get that are on lower cost and it has insulated inside. It just feels amazing. Clearly, I'm out here recording for you all and it is cold, but definitely don't sleep on that. Get your winter gear off season, and don't forget when it comes to not only the headlamp, but you want to ensure that you're getting reflective gear. A lot of times your winter gear is going to be reflective. Sometimes they jack the prices up because it is reflective gear, but you just have to shop off season and you'll be okay. All right, guys, I hope that you all enjoyed my wintertime must-haves. Those are some things that I have to have on my runs. Again, during the wintertime, I continue to run. And again, yes, I am living in Atlanta, so I'm not getting snow. So of course I was not able to add any snow tricks in there. I have never run in the snow. Even if it's icy outside, your girl is staying home. I am not doing all of that. So, or I will get onto the treadmill. But that's just because I'm not used to that because I'm an Atlanta girl. Anyway, thank you all for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Definitely take the time to like, subscribe, and share. And let me know any of your winter must-haves. Drop it in the comments. Let me know if there's anything that you just have to have that I may not have mentioned. I thank you all for coming on to my channel. I try to post a new video to this channel every week, and I hope to see you all again. Don't forget to celebrate every step, every stride, and every mile. I'll see you guys next time.